Decoding the Hidden Symbols in the Book of Revelation. Part 1. Introduction. Sowing the Seeds of Mystery. Imagine, if you will, a flickering candle in the profound darkness, casting dancing shadows upon ancient scrolls. From these venerable texts, whispers of cataclysm and cosmic drama emerge, none more enigmatic, more awe-inspiring than the Book of Revelation. It is a tapestry woven with fire and starlight, with beasts and angels, a vision so vivid, so terrifying, that it has captivated and confounded believers for millennia. Yet, beneath its surface of apocalyptic imagery lies a deeper current, a profound language of symbols waiting to be deciphered. What if these bewildering visions are not merely prophecies of a distant future, but timeless keys to understanding the nature of good and evil, the sovereignty of God, and our own place within the unfolding grand narrative? Join us as we venture into the heart of Revelation to illuminate its hidden symbols and unlock the profound truths they conceal. Part 2. The Body, a Journey of Deep Exploration. Subsection A. Historical and Cultural Context, the Crucible of Revelation. To truly grasp the symbolic language of Revelation, we must first transport ourselves to its crucible, the tumultuous late 1st century AD. John, the revered apostle, finds himself exiled on the island of Patmos, a desolate place of Roman penal servitude. The early Christian church, still in infancy, was facing immense persecution under the brutal reign of Emperor Domitian. Christians refused to worship the emperor, a defiance seen as both treasonous and atheistic by Roman authorities. This period was marked by martyrdom, economic hardship, and the very real threat of annihilation. It is within this climate of fear, despair, and unwavering faith that John receives his vision. Revelation is not an abstract theological treatise. It is a profound message of hope and encouragement, delivered in a code that early Christians would have understood, yet concealed from their persecutors. It draws heavily upon Jewish apocalyptic literature, a genre that flourished during times of oppression, offering coded messages of divine intervention and ultimate victory. Understanding this context, the Roman oppression, the vibrant Jewish symbolic tradition, and the nascent church's struggle for survival, is paramount to unlocking the book's initial layers. Subsection B. Decoding the Scripture and Evidence, the Language of the Lamb and the Beast. Revelation's landscape is populated by a bewildering array of figures and events, each imbued with symbolic weight. Let us begin with some of its most prominent. The Lamb. Found throughout the book, the Lamb that was slain, Revelation 5-6, is perhaps the most central and potent symbol. It refers unequivocally to Jesus Christ. But why a lamb, and a slain one at that? This harkens back to the Passover lamb, sacrificed for the salvation of Israel, and to Isaiah's suffering servant, Isaiah 53. The lamb in Revelation, however, is not merely a passive victim. It is also depicted with 7 horn eyes, which are the 7 spirits of God sent out into all the earth, signifying perfect power and omniscience. It is a paradox, vulnerability and ultimate authority intertwined. This symbol reassures persecuted believers that their Redeemer has already triumphed through sacrifice and now reigns supreme. The dragon and the beast. The antithesis of the lamb is the dragon, identified explicitly as that ancient serpent, who is the devil and Satan, Revelation 12-9. This primordial evil seeks to devour the child destined to rule the nations. Allied with the dragon are 2 beasts. The first beast, rising from the sea, Revelation 13-1-10, with its multiple heads and horns, clearly symbolizes earthly, tyrannical power, particularly the Roman Empire with its imperial cult. Its blasphemous claims and persecution of saints point directly to Domitian's demands for worship. The second beast, rising from the earth, Revelation 13:11-1-8, often seen as the imperial priesthood or propaganda machine, compels worship of the first beast and enforces its decrees, including the infamous mark of the beast. These symbols serve not to predict a singular future event, but to identify the ever-present spiritual and political forces opposing God's kingdom across all ages. The seven seals, trumpets, and bowls. These sequences, Revelation 6:8-9, 15-16, represent escalating judgments upon the earth. They are not necessarily linear chronological events, but rather recapitulations of divine justice, often drawing from Old Testament plagues and prophecies. For example, the plagues of Egypt, Ezekiel's visions. The number 7, a symbol of completeness and perfection in Jewish thought, signifies that these judgments are divinely ordained and comprehensive. They illustrate God's ultimate control over history and his righteous response to humanity's rebellion. They also serve as a warning to those who oppress the faithful and a promise of vindication for the suffering. Babylon the Great. This enigmatic harlot, drunk with the blood of the saints, Revelation 17:6, is another powerful symbol. While superficially pointing to Rome, often referred to as Babylon in Jewish literature due to its destructive power and idolatry, its symbolic reach extends further. Babylon represents any worldly system or power that is opulent, immoral, and hostile to God and his people. It embodies the allure and corruption of earthly empires that tempt humanity away from true worship and righteousness. Subsection C. The hidden theological meaning, the enduring truths. Beyond specific prophecies, Revelation's symbols convey profound theological truths that transcend its immediate historical context. The sovereignty of God. Above all, Revelation emphatically proclaims God's ultimate sovereignty. Despite the chaos, persecution, and apparent triumph of evil, God is on the throne. The constant refrain of worship around the throne of God, Revelation 4-5, serves as a cosmic anchor, reminding the reader that divine control is never relinquished. This provides immense comfort and strength to those facing seemingly insurmountable challenges. The nature of evil. The book unmasks the true nature of evil. It is not merely human depravity, but a cosmic rebellion led by Satan, manifesting through political power, the beast, spiritual deception, the false prophet, and worldly systems, Babylon. Yet Revelation also shows that evil is ultimately defeated by the Lamb, underscoring the triumph of sacrificial love over brute force. The perseverance of the saints. Revelation is a profound call to endurance and faithfulness. The imagery of those who wash their robes and make them white in the blood of the Lamb, Revelation 7:14, and who do not love their lives so much as to shrink from death, Revelation 12:11, portrays a suffering but ultimately victorious church. It is a testament to the power of unwavering faith in the face of tribulation, promising divine vindication and eternal reward. Cosmic conflict and redemption. At its core, Revelation unveils a grand cosmic conflict between God and Satan, between light and darkness. But it is not a battle of equals. The Lamb's victory is assured. The ultimate outcome is the establishment of the new heavens and new earth, where God dwells with humanity. Revelation 21-22, an unparalleled vision of redemption, restoration, and eternal peace. Subsection D. Controversies and theories. A spectrum of interpretation. The symbolic richness of Revelation has inevitably led to a spectrum of interpretations across Christian history, each seeking to unlock its meaning. Preterism. This view suggests that most of Revelation's prophecies were fulfilled in the 1st century AD, primarily concerning the destruction of Jerusalem in 70 AD and the persecution under the Roman Empire. The symbols, therefore, primarily referred to contemporary events and figures. Historicism. This perspective sees Revelation as a panoramic prophecy of church history, from the 1st century until the second coming of Christ. The symbols represent various historical eras, figures, and movements throughout this period. Futurism. Perhaps the most popular contemporary view, Futurism interprets most of Revelation as referring to events that will occur in the literal end time, just before and during Christ's second coming. This approach often seeks to identify modern nations or figures with the symbolic beasts and harlots. Idealism, or spiritualism. This approach emphasizes the timeless, archetypal nature of Revelation symbols. It views the book as a depiction of the ongoing spiritual conflict between good and evil, the triumph of Christ, and the experiences of the Church in every age, rather than predicting specific historical events. Each approach offers valuable insights, yet none fully encompasses the book's multifaceted nature. Perhaps Revelation is a majestic tapestry, where threads of past fulfillment, historical unfolding, future prophecy, and eternal spiritual truth are intricately interwoven. To insist on one singular interpretation may be to diminish the profound scope of its divine inspiration. Part 3. Conclusion: The Eternal Echo. We have journeyed through the labyrinthine symbols of Revelation, from the paradox of the slain lamb to the menacing shadows of the dragon and the beasts. We have seen how these vivid images, born from the crucible of ancient persecution, speak of God's unwavering sovereignty, the true nature of evil, and the ultimate victory of faithfulness. Revelation is not merely a cryptic roadmap to the future. It is a profound testament to the enduring power of hope in the face of despair, a divine symphony proclaiming that even amidst Earth's greatest turmoil, the Lamb has triumphed. And so, as the candle flame dances and casts its light upon these ancient words, we are left not with simple answers, but with a profound call to reflection. In a world still wrestling with oppression, injustice, and the seduction of worldly power, what does the message of Revelation demand of us today? How do we, as heirs to this grand vision, embody the perseverance of the saints and await the ultimate renewal? The symbols of Revelation echo through the corridors of time, inviting us not just to decipher their meaning, but to live out their eternal truth, finding strength and courage in the knowledge that our Redeemer reigns. Decoding the hidden symbols in the book of